What's up VideoFort Nation, this is VideoFort Ruan with another awesome VideoFort tutorial. So in this video we're going to be looking at how to create a shadow catcher, which means we are going to create something that's actually going to catch the shadow from the helicopter. That will help us to cast a shadow on the actual footage. So it's not that difficult to do. First of all, we're going to create a plane, and here in the top view that should be the easiest. So just drag out quite a big plane just around the helicopter where the floor will actually be, and then obviously make sure that the helicopter is right on that plane. So if you're using the left viewport, you can see that the helicopter is sitting nicely on that plane, so that should be fine. Just very importantly, make sure that it's big enough to cover the area where you want to cast that shadow. Okay, next we're going to open the material editor, so press M on your keyboard. And here are a few steps that you maybe need to write down, and after a few times of practice you will get it right. Okay, so we're going to right click and we're going to go to materials, V-Ray, and then we're going to select the V-Ray material wrapper and double click on that to go into the properties, and then there's a few settings that you need to change here. So first of all, we're going to start with alpha contribution, and we're going to change that to -1. And then we're also going to tick matte surface, this one next to it, and then we're also going to tick shadows here at the bottom, and we're also going to tick effect alpha. Okay, we're almost done. So then where it says base material, we're going to click on this none button, and then we're going to expand V-Ray. So just click on the plus next to V-Ray, and then you're going to scroll down and double click on V-Ray material. Okay, next we want to apply this new material to the plane, so you can just click this button here on the side, drag it to the plane and release. Okay, let's close down the material editor and let's do a quick render. So I'm just going to click here in the camera viewport, and I'm going to go to rendering and click on render. Okay, so the render is looking good, and if we zoom in here, you can see something going on here, but it's not really that clear. So what you can do is you can click on this little white circle here at the top, which says switch to alpha channel, and then it will actually show you the alpha channel, the alpha matte. And you can see a nice shadow here below the helicopter, and this will mean that you can actually composite this image in After Effects and you'll have a shadow to work with. So that's looking good. Just one thing to notice here, if you look at the shadow, it's a bit noisy, it's not looking that smooth. So there's one thing we can change to make this a little bit better looking shadow. So let's close that down, and then in our scene we're going to click on one of these lights. So I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to go into the modify panel, and then scroll down to sampling, and I'm going to change the subdivisions to 16. I think 16 should be high enough. And then I'm going to do the same to the other light, so I'm going to click on it and change that one's subdivisions to 16 as well. Cool, let's do a quick test render. So I'm going to click in the camera viewport, rendering, render. Okay, there you go. You can see the shadow is looking a little bit softer, so that's quite nice. And remember, in the lighting video I spoke about how to get your shadows to look either softer or harder, to increase the size of your light or to decrease it. So if you make the light smaller and brighter, the shadows will be harder, and if you make the light a little bit bigger and just reduce the intensity, you'll get something soft like this. So you can play around with those settings as well and try and match the shadows in your scene as close as possible. Also remember to check out VideoFort.com, your #1 source for stock footage. I'll see you guys in the next video.